Hello, Virgo. Elsie here to do a reading. It is for your week ahead, Virgo. Thank you so much for clicking here. Virgo, if you've not been here before, thank you so much for giving this a shot, for stopping in here. What I like to do is throw down the oracles for the overall energy for the week ahead. I'm always reading for the week ahead, so whenever you get this today, tomorrow, next year, it could resonate with you. We're not all at the same spot at the same time in our lives, experiencing the same things, so it won't resonate for all of you. But we do have these oracles. I will put them down. After I put down the oracles and we talk about those, I will then hit them up with some tarot. We'll get some details, find out what's going on for you, Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. So if you're a brand new, welcome. And if you're a person who's always here, my ride or die Virgo, I appreciate you. If you would like to stay, there is a subscription button down in the bottom right-hand corner of this little square where I live. If you would like to join this beautiful tribe. Let's find out what's going on here for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got wisdom. Oh, you're embracing wisdom in the transformation, are you? So, it feels like there's a bunch of changes that are coming to you in the week ahead. Transformation is here. I feel like you're about to emerge as the butterfly. I feel like you've been in the silence. Feels like you've been in hermit energy or in the silence or being by yourself. You don't necessarily have to be in the dark, but I feel like it's a place where you are embracing silence, embracing being alone, spending time with you, spending time thinking about whatever it is that you think. But I'm looking at this embracing wisdom, and it does remind me of hermit energy, is what it's telling me, because the hermit does embrace wisdom when they're by themselves, right? So that's what the hermit energy is. It's about the self-audit, also about going in for self-preservation reasons. It's time for me to think about my next step, try and find my light, figure out what I'm doing from here. It's time for me to meditate or pray, figure out what I'm going to do next. I feel like this brings you to transformation. I feel like I'm probably talking to someone who has been sort of just keeping to themselves. And I feel like what you don't realize is when you do emerge from this hermit-like energy, it feels like you've had some sort of purification. So it feels like you've had some realizations, or it feels like you've realized that in the times that were when it was raining or storming, that the reason that the rains and the storms come is to make everything bloom, is to make everything lush, is to make everything green. So the storms and the rain and the gray skies, they all have their purpose as well. I feel like maybe you are going through something here. It feels like you were trying to figure out what exactly is going on here. Like it feels like you've been going through some sort of purification, and it can be a hard time, this purification. Transformation definitely is hard, because the butterfly, when it gets into the cocoon, it's not a big party in there, right? It's melting, its body is changing, it's dying essentially and being reborn. And so I feel like when you do emerge from whatever hermit energy you've been in, people might not recognize you. You might be going through a glow up or a change of mind, or having gained some wisdom. But being under the water, I remember as a kid, right? Going under the water is silence. It's complete and total silence. And I remember as a kid wishing that I could hold my breath a little longer, just because it's silence. We also have water in two of these pictures. So it feels like an emotional transformation that somebody's going through. Could be a transformation in your wisdom. You're learning more about yourself, but you're also learning to embrace the silence. Tell me about wisdom. We've got reconnect. So you went into this hermit energy to reconnect to yourself, possibly to nature. We do see this crane in nature here. Reconnecting to yourself, to your deity, to yourself here. It feels like this is your time. So if you're a person who's been keeping to yourself, and sometimes the universe will do this, right? The universe will sort of sequester us. Like, we never really planned to go into hermit energy. It's like the universe puts us there and says, you know what, I'm just going to make you feel like you just don't want to talk to people. It's time for you to sort of be by yourself and figure things out. I feel like you're in this place of trying to find balance. We do have a clock here. And whenever I see clocks, for me, it's the Wheel of Fortune. Things are about to change. And we know that things are about to change because transformation is here. Remember that this is all week ahead energy. So whenever you get this, it feels like you are at a time in your life where you're supposed to be embracing the dark, or embracing being alone, embracing the transformation that is about to is about to show up here. We do have revisit. So it does feel like you are sort of in this energy of revisiting or remembering where you've come from as opposed to where you are right now. It feels like you've gone through some sort of purification. And I think it's meant for you to do this at this time, because I feel like you're supposed to inspire others to do the same. Yeah, so people will trust you. It feels like you're going through some sort of a changing process right now, a transformation, and the reason it's happening is because there are others who are going to follow suit. You're becoming an inspiration to others. Let's find out what is going on with the tarot here for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's get some details. Virgo, if you're interested in a private read, live or pre-recorded, please look in the pinned comment. Information is there if you're interested. Tell me about Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo. We've got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. I kind of love that, Virgo, because I feel like in the wisdom and in the reconnection to the self, the Eight of Pentacles being in the reverse tells me you've stopped with the perfectionism. You've stopped thinking that you're the person that must be perfect with every step that you take. It feels like with the Eight of Pentacles that you're putting less energy into perfection and more energy into wisdom, realizing that the wisdom that you get from things that don't work out is worth way more than trying to control an outcome or be perfect in the outcome. Tell me about this embracing, please. We've got the Hermit energy. Well, there we go. It's a little bit of foreseeing what was going on here, right? So we've got you in the Hermit energy, embracing this Hermit energy for a time. So you can get some balance within the self, getting into the wisdom, reconnecting to yourself. It feels like here we've got Judgment. So we've only got three tarot cards here, and two of them are major arcana. So it does feel like it's very interesting because revisit is here and judgment is here. Sometimes judgment can be about revisiting something and maybe doing it differently the next time. So maybe it's something that you want to revisit. I don't feel like this is anyone revisiting you. I feel like this is something that you're revisiting that you want to do differently in the future. It feels like you're making some sort of really big decision while you are in this hermit mode. I really love that the Eight of Pentacles is in the reverse, because this is, the Eight of Pentacles is like being busy working, being busy trying to be perfect. It's like being busy. People count on me to do all the work, to be the subject matter expert, to give them the information that they need. And I feel like the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse is like, let's just take a rest on that for a minute. Stop trying to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, and stop putting the pressure on yourself. It's time to just stop and get the wisdom of reconnection. It's time to release whatever hard work you've been doing. Maybe you've been doing too much overtime. Maybe you've been putting too much into your work or your business. We've got the Knight of Cups. Loving yourself more. Moving a little bit slower here. We've got the Four of Wands, because it's time for more stability, happiness, excitement. It does feel like it's a time of love. I feel like this is the wisdom that you're getting, that it's a time to move a little slower, possibly not give everything all at once. You're the person who's always in service of everyone else. Not giving everything to everyone else. The Four of Wands is, I need to get stability for myself and I need to be happy. I feel like you're coming to this wisdom that reconnection to the self is what is actually going to make you happy. It's not working harder. It's not being more perfect. It's having wisdom about relaxing just a little bit. We do have the Seven of Swords. I feel like you've been lying to yourself. Look, the world will have you think that if you're not perfect, you're not anything. You have to be the perfect weight. You have to have the perfect facial features. You have to have the perfect hair, the perfect car, the perfect life, the perfect home. And I feel like you've been lied to. I feel like you were up until possibly recently that you were starting to believe the lies. I feel like that's why the universe sequesters you. The universe is like, okay, it's time to sit down and look the reasons why. Why are you doing all the overtime? Why are you trying to make everybody from the outside look at you and say, wow, Virgo's perfect? What is that? What's under that? That's shadow work is what that is. And I feel like that's why you're in hermit energy, because it's time for a little bit of shadow work, trying to find your light. I feel like your light is in the distance. We do have this remembrance here, or embrace here, I should say, not remembrance, embrace. And there is a light in the distance, right? And so you won't be in the dark forever. You'll be in the dark for a time. But I feel like you're in hermit energy because I feel like the universe was trying to stop you from burnout, is what it feels like. You're just working too hard on something that I feel that it feels like it wasn't for you. It was so everybody from the outside looking in could see how perfect you were. And I don't think that you were consciously doing that, understand. I feel like this is just who you are. I feel like it's innate for you. We do have the Two of Swords in the reverse. I like this. So you come to some conclusions, realizations, and you make some decisions while you're in hermit mode. Two of Swords in the reverse for me is no longer being in the block. It's now I'm going to let it go. I'm finally going to make the decision about whether to go do this or that, whether to go this way or that way. We do have the Eight of Cups. I'm just going to disconnect from everything and everyone, and that's what we do when we're in hermit mode. We disconnect from emotional things, caring what other people think, disconnecting from emotions, the emotional outcome of something. I think that you've realized with the Eight of Cups that you no longer want to be settling for the energy that you were in. It's time to get some balance, time to embrace some balance in the hermit energy. I feel like midweek is when you go into the hermit energy. We have the Ace of Cups. I feel like this Ace of Cups, though, is probably for some of you about the love of self. It does feel like that's your decision. I need to love myself more than I love the kudos, the external validation, people seeing me as perfect. I feel like you're releasing some things, letting some things go. You're disconnecting from the outcome of other things. We've got the Judgment card here, and so you've made a decision, a big decision with the help of the universe. I feel that the universe is sort of shaking you, waking you up. Again, we've got a lot of butterflies here. You've got a lot of butterflies in your reading today. And it feels like that there is a transformational decision that you're about to make here. For me as an energy reader, to me, this is Virgo and Pisces energy. And it feels like you are going to make a decision that is going to send you on a completely different trajectory in your life here. You are revisiting, and I feel like what you're revisiting is the past. It feels like your transformation is about to take place, and you are sort of on a bit of a trip of memory lane, sort of, the Judgment card is facing into the past. So I feel like you're reviewing the past, maybe the things you could have done better, right? The things that maybe you should have let go of earlier. Tell me about Judgment. We've got the King of Swords. I like it. We've got the Nine of Cups in the reverse. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like the Nine of Cups in the reverse is a little bit of delusionment. It's like I was told that if I do more overtime, if I make more money, if I get a bigger house, if I seem perfect from the outside, that people are going to see me as happy on the inside. I feel like this is the delusionment, is what it feels like. The Judgment card tells me that you really go over the details of what does it mean for me to be happy. The Ten of Pentacles is here. For you, it is legacy. For you, it is maybe making a lot of money, which will build your legacy. But I feel like the King of Swords is really asking you to be very brutally honest with yourself. And that's where the transformation takes place. The King of Swords isn't scared to pull apart all the facts and the details to get to what it really is. Maybe this Eight of Cups here is foretelling what's coming at the end of the week. The Eight of Cups is pulling away from, finding the emotional outcome. And I feel like the King of Swords is that. The King of Swords is somebody who's taking all the emotions out of it. And I'm just going to figure it out logically. It feels like your transformation is quite logical, but you also go through the breaking down of this disillusionment that everybody was seeing you as happy on the inside just because you had material wealth on the outside, or because you were working hard or doing extra overtime or never had time for anything because you were working so hard. We do have the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like this is wealth, this is good health. Pentacles are in the pentacle world. And when we see 10 of them, it can mean long-term relationship. It means something long-term that is very abundant. So I feel like there is something abundant that's showing up for you in in the future, I feel like you're inspired to get the Ten of Pentacles, but I feel like you're now being honest with yourself about the changes that you need to make in your life, and the realization that not every day is going to be perfect. I can't be perfect, because even when the sunflowers are here, the way the sunflowers grow is through the rain and the cloudy days and the days that are less than perfect. And that's when the purification comes. I have been extending readings, and I'm going to continue to do that this week. Y'all seem to love it. So I'm going to put down 3 cards here. We're going to talk about that as we go into the extended energy here. We'll talk a little bit more about this as well. I feel like we should talk about the transformation and what that is bringing. What is the purification actually representing for you? Because I feel like you're really changing while you're in this hermit energy. This is a serious time of change for you. You've got balance, but we've got a clock. And to me, clocks are always about time, divine timing, and things that are happening at this time because they're supposed to. And so it feels like there is a very big change. Like it feels like you were going this way and then all of a sudden you turn right or turn left. It feels like this Judgment card is telling me that the King of Swords, pulling all the energy of emotion out of it, the King of Swords is saying, okay, look, we just got to get down to brass tacks here. What are we doing? What do we need to change? I really need to look at myself and be honest. This is disillusionment. I'm not going to work myself into the ground in order to get the Ten of Pentacles. What do I have to change here? What do I have to revisit in order to be able to inspire other people to do the same thing? Tell me what's going on here. We've got the 3 of Cups. I need to be happier. I need to go out more. I need to be more around the people that I love, the people that love me. We've got the 2 of Pentacles, and it feels like your pentacle life has been very busy, or you've been juggling a lot of things. I feel like you need to make more space and time for things you love, right? Ace of Pentacles. You need to make more time for the 3 of Cups. Sorry, the Ace of Cups is here. Need more time for the 3 of Cups, which is getting out, being social, celebrating, having fun. You need to celebrate the wins instead of keeping your head down and working. We do have the Empress energy here. Well, I think that that's really beautiful, because I think what comes from all of this transformational change, the hermit energy that you're in, you know, really looking at things closely, breaking it all down with facts, rules, being honest and truthful with the self. I feel like what happens here is that you are coming into this Empress energy, whether you're feminine or masculine. I feel like you are leveling up or changing vibrations into this Empress energy, realizing that you already are there, because I understand that you just decided to, it's like it's stop or go for you. It's like all in, go, 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 or stop. And I feel like you've realized in this time in the hermit energy that you actually already are the Empress. And now all you need to do is maintain this stability, honesty, keeping yourself balanced, keeping things in divine timing, being the creator of your own path. It feels like that I feel like society had taught you that the only way you had worth is if you continued to be busy and juggle everything. But I feel like you're going to be changing that, because it feels like transformation is here. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk about how you're going to heal this energy. We've got the Hanged Man, because it feels like you are going to get a different perspective here. It feels like you're in a pause, getting perspective and getting mental stability here with the 4 of Swords. It feels like there is there's a growth that's going on here. And if it's been uncomfortable for you, I feel like that's what this is. You are growing into being the Empress. Look, it's not, everybody thinks that growing into the Empress is so wonderful. All the wisdom is great, but you have to learn those lessons, and some of them are hard, like really hard lessons. So let's go into the extended. Let's talk about divine timing. What's going to happen in divine timing? What comes from this time that you spent in hermit energy? What are the changes, the transformations that are showing up here? And this Empress energy. Tell me about this Empress energy and how you are going to balance your being an Empress energy with also becoming a little more social. If you want to join us in the extended, all of my extendeds are for one small price, monthly price. I'm putting all of the extendeds in my membership area. There's a link in the pinned comment just below all of the private reading information if you'd like to join the membership area. And yeah, I'm going to go there for now. I will do this extended. Hope to see you there. And if I don't, well, I'm going to be back, because I'm always back. Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.